All right. Hey, everybody. Make sure I press record in my school. I know you guys can't see that. Okay. All right. I've got a lot of personal, well, not personal, but business deadlines right now. So I'm going to be pretty quick today, so I can get back to the research to bring back to you guys. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. All right. YouTube, can you hear me? All right, good deal. Instagram, Facebook, and Skool, can you guys hear me? Just give me a thumbs up. Yes, yes, and yes. All right, good deal. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be really quick. Thank you so much for joining me on this Think Thursday. And today, we're going to talk about our feelings, okay? So, but you guys already know I like to start out our chats the same way. So, by giving you the space to check in with yourself. So, how are you really feeling right now? How are you feeling? Okay? Not the answer that you give people at work, not the answer that you post online. I want to know how you're truly, truly feeling. Okay? Are you angry? Are you sad? Are you disgusted? Are you fearful? How are you really feeling? Okay? If one of those words came up, that's a great start. But let's go even deeper. Okay? Let's go even deeper. If you're new here, I always recommend the feelings wheel. You can literally Google feelings wheel or go to feelingswheel.com and start at the center. Excuse me, start at the center of the basic emotion. Hold on one second. All right. It's in my bio, but I'm a doctor of philosophy. The psychology of eating is what I specialize in. I don't know why my mouth just got dry that quick. So let's go deeper into you guys. Let me know how you feel, like how you're truly, truly feeling. So if you're in my school, you already have access to the feelings wheel. And so we want to look into that to go deep and just say, if you pick sad, if you're feeling sad right now, let's go a little bit deeper. Are you actually hurt, or are you lonely? Are you feeling guilty about something? Are you feeling a little depressed? Which that word right there is a little bit sensitive when we talk about those kind of things, but we'll get into that later, all right? But I just want you to go even deeper, like one more layer. So maybe it started out as sad, and then you got closer to the lonely feeling, right? And now you realize that you're actually feeling isolated, right? Now, let me ask you something. If you're feeling isolated, lonely, or disconnected, and you're in a cold season right now, or stuck inside or stressed, what's usually the fastest thing that you reach for to feel better? Is it food? What kind of foods? Is it chips, cookies, cupcakes? Is it something sweet or something crunchy? On the surface, those things feel comforting, like a hug and like a kiss. And yes, Hershey's kiss, right? The marketing of it all. The marketing of it all, right? So, food has always been there when people weren't consistent. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere, okay? So, let me zoom out for a moment. What's been sitting heavy on your mind lately? whether it's consciously or quiet in the background? Are you replaying something that's already happened? Does that happen to you? You kind of replay things over and over again? Yeah? Okay, you guys are telling me yes. Give me thumbs up in the hearts. Right. So, when that happens, what was said? How did it go down? Was it a diagnosis that you received? Or were you anxious? Are you anxious about the future? Okay. Was it a partner that you don't have yet? A partner in life, partner in crime, whatever you want to say. Is it financial woes that you're going through? What's going on with the messages and the stories that you keep repeating over and over and over? We wake up already managing pressure, work, family, health, money, relationships. So we try to fix something. And if it's relationships, we've been trying to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed by someone we're already with or someone that we want, right? So if it's money that you've been thinking about, we've been thinking about asking for a raise, starting a business, or doing something. If it's health, we're Googling, what's wrong with me? We're scrolling, listening to that influencer at 2:07 a.m., telling you to stand on your head and eat raw cabbage and tape a tomato to your ankle. Right? They've got millions of followers, so maybe it'll work. But deep down, you're scared because so many things didn't work before. So most of us are moving fast because we're worried. Worried that we're behind. Worried that we've missed something. Worried that we're running out of time. So let me squash that shame on for you right now. Where you are, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. So let's pause right there for a second and take an alkalizing breath. So what I want you to do right now is close your eyes if you can. If it's safe for you, I want you to close your eyes. And then we're going to do an alkalizing breath together. So what that means is you're going to literally cool your entire nervous system. So when you take an intentional deep breath in through your nose, you hold your breath and then you exhale through your mouth. But the secret behind it is inhaling through your nose for a 4-second count. You're going to hold your breath for 3 seconds. And then you're going to exhale through your mouth for 6 to 8 seconds. Okay? So let's do that together. Ready? Go. Let's do that again together. Ready? Go. Such a natural high. Let's do that one more time together, okay? Because we do these 3 cycles back to back, 3 to 5 times a day. So let's go ahead and do it one more good time for measure, okay? Ready? Go. That just feels amazing. That is the most natural high that you can ever take. And if you think about it, if you smoke or you've ever watched someone smoke, that's what they're doing on their first puff, right? That very first puff, they will tell you that it's the second and third and the rest, they don't feel as great as the very first one. Why? Because they're taking the deepest inhale that they ever taken before in several hours or maybe minutes before, depending on how often they smoke. Okay? So now let me just go back to what I said. Where you are exactly where you're supposed to be. We've heard that phrase our whole entire lives. If you go to church, you've heard it before. We repeat it like a slogan. But when is the last time that you actually sat with that? When is the last time? When is the last time that you look back and thank the Creator for what didn't work out? For what we were blocked from? For that bullet that you didn't even know was coming? Now, let me be real with you. You might be going through something really heavy right now, and it can feel hard to hear someone talking about, clarity and things of this nature, talking calmly, cracking a joke, sounding fine, whatever. So let me say this clearly. My life is perfect, but not because nothing is wrong. My life is perfect because I'm exactly where God wants me to be. Can you guys say that with confidence? Almost 10 years ago, I asked my Creator, why was I bleeding so much? Why did I have multiple fibroids? Why did surgery feel like the only option? God then led me to holistic healing. And then guess what? My health reversed. And then guess what after that? I went right back to doing what I was doing before. The same behaviors, the same eating style, same food, same pattern, all of that. So I ended up back in the same place. Then guess what? I healed again. But this time for years. Because I changed my behavior, but it was temporary. Because something devastating happened. So what do? I went back to the very foods that I asked my Creator to deliver me from. That's why I can say this without judgment. When life feels heavy, food often becomes where all the pressure just kind of lands. So we talk about true desire versus casual wanting sometimes, right? There's a difference between it would be nice and I cannot keep living this way. Two totally different thoughts, right? It would be nice to be healthier is what I hear all the time. Or are you craving peace in your body and you have to have it right now? It would be nice to lose weight. Or are you craving safety? Are you craving control? Are you craving relief? Other things I hear. It would be nice to have the discipline that you've got. Or are you exhausted and overwhelmed? Most people don't fail because they have a lack of discipline. They fail because their craving isn't deep enough. How deep is your craving? Yes, right? It's really deep. You really want this, right? So let me ask you this, and I really want you to sit with this. How would you feel in your body if you did the same things right now? How would you feel in your body 5 years from now? If nothing changed with your food habits for the next year or the next 5 years, how would that feel in your body? Food is rarely the true craving. Food is just the fastest way to relieve ourselves of unmet emotional needs. Our nervous system is out of whack because of things like this or caffeine and you know all kinds of stuff that we just instantly gravitate toward, and we don't understand our identity needs. And this doesn't just show up with food, of course. No, it doesn't. So, how deep is your desire for a relationship? How deep is your desire for peace? How deep is your desire for stability? I have a friend who bought a beautiful house. And you know what she said to me? I can't wait to share this with my man. I'll be inside cooking while he's outside cutting the grass. And I said, that's a beautiful thought, a beautiful picture. When do you start your cooking lessons? You know what she said? When I get my man. What? Do you guys see the issue in that? Please tell me that you do. And this is not this is not to judge, because some of us are waiting on some things too. You're waiting to leave a relationship that doesn't feel right. You're waiting to change food that doesn't love you back. You're waiting because you're scared of what may happen next. But here's the thing. When we have competing desires, they cancel each other out. So when you say, I want to feel better, but I don't want to feel uncomfortable, it's going to cancel each other out. Any type of change, good or bad, comes with discomfort. So if you eat burgers one day and switch to salads, that's going to be uncomfortable. If you eat salads every day and then switch to burgers, that's going to be uncomfortable. The brain prefers familiarity, not healthy, not necessarily healthy. It just prefers consistency. That's why this analogy is going to hit so hard for you, or it should. Okay? Think about Doughboy. Let me reel it back to my real followers here. Okay? Think about Doughboy from Boys in the Hood. You remember that movie? He's uncomfortable outside of the hood. The hood is dangerous to most people, but for Doughboy, it was very familiar. Opportunity felt foreign for him. Survival, constantly looking over the shoulder, that's normal for him. So he wasn't lazy. He was just regulated by what he knows. While we're on that, let's talk about another example. Menace to Society, another one of my old school favorite movies. Kane talked about leaving all the time, but he kept choosing the familiar chaos. The hood, though it may be dangerous, it was predictable. It was comfortable. Let's talk about Juice. We're on the road now. Juice. What was Tupac character name? Bishop, right? Bishop gained power in an environment that he knows. But outside of that familiar place, he lost his identity and he lost the control. Is this resonating with anybody? Let's talk about the wood. Just something a little bit lighter. And that'll be my last example. The characters nostalgically cling to the neighborhood because it represents safety, identity, and belonging. Does that make sense to anybody? Okay, good. There are plenty of movies where the girl just stays in a relationship with a man because, let me start over. There's plenty of movies where there's a story about a girl that's staying in a relationship where the man is clearly disrespecting her. Okay? This is most recent on my mind, and I usually don't talk about real people because they're real people and they deserve, the love and respect. But this particular person that's coming up, they chose to live their life on reality shows, so it's no secret. All right, so Kourtney Kardashian, I'm sorry, I just got to pick on you just for a second, but I used to watch, marathons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And so when you see, just one Saturday or Sunday, I was watching, again, the marathon. So you see them back to back to back. And so when you see shows like that happen back to back to back, and you see how much she got disrespected in such a short period of time. Yes, they were together for years, but you just saw how quickly from episode to the next and to the next, like how many times Scott disrespected her. How many times he had to cover up his cheating and his lies over and over again. The average viewer at home is like, what is wrong with her? Why doesn't she just leave, right? And we do the same thing with food, though. So again, the fingers that you're pointing, you got fingers pointing back at you. Because how many times have we tried these foods and we know it's not good for us, but we still run back to it? Same thing with humans, okay? Same thing with your relationship with food. Same thing with your relationship with a person. Same patterns over and over again. And again, before we judge anybody, pause for a second and look at your own life to see what relationships that you are stuck in. What are you doing to change it? Judgment tightens the nervous system. So that's what we're not doing. We're giving compassion. I hope you can feel the compassion behind my voice, because compassion expands my nervous system. So all I have is love to give. And this is the way that I'm showing my love. So have you ever stayed in something too long? Whether it's a relationship with a person or with food, a habit, whatever. Lil Debbie, Alfredo, graham crackers, Sarah Lee. How many relationships have you stayed in way too long? Okay, don't judge anybody. This is about being honest with yourself. And sometimes, again, the harshest judgment isn't toward other people. It's toward yourself. It's toward your own body, your timeline, how long healing is taking. You cannot heal your body when you're at war with yourself. The truth without compassion creates shame. And shame drives coping. So, how do we get to a place where we can say, I am okay, even while I'm healing? That's where certainty comes in. Certainty is not, I've arrived. Sorry, Nene Leaks. Okay. Certainty is, I am saying that I am safe because I'm learning. I am safe because I'm getting better. You don't just binge because you're broken. You binge because your nervous system hasn't trusted that kind of safety mechanism yet. So how do you teach your body safety? That's why we meditate. That's why we do alkalizing breaths. And you repeat them over and over again, because that's how you create a habit. Inside of my Skool community, if you're not, congratulations if you're inside of my Skool community, but for everybody else on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, I share the exact practices with you guys that help me break my cycles with my bad relationships with food, with my bad relationships with money, and my bad relationships with humans. That I'm giving you the exact place, okay? And yes, those resources are there for you as well, okay? Once you join my program, you get access to the first 2 weeks of my 13-week step-by-step program. What else gets you to a space where you're like, I am okay even while I'm healing? Giving gratitude, right? Absolutely. Giving gratitude. Yes, you are one of my amazing students. Absolutely. Giving gratitude. Have you ever given someone something and they didn't say thank you? Did it make you want to keep giving them more? If it did, that's about a control thing, and that's more like an individual thing if it did. But for most people, when you give them something, you want to hear thank you back. So when we ask the creator to give us something and we're not giving thanks for it, do you think the creator wants to keep giving things to you? This is not about um, what you see other people getting. The focus is only you. It's just you and me, right? Or just you by yourself. I'm sorry. It's all about just you. So go back to what I just said. Giving others or giving to others and they weren't appreciative doesn't necessarily make you want to keep giving. So give thanks. Give thanks for it all. Give thanks for the sunshine. Thank you for rain. Thank you for joy. And thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for all of it. Okay? Now, there's some people that just give and give and give and give, and some people just take and take and take and take and take. You ever know those people? You know any of those people in your life? You have any of those people around you? That could be a relationship that you have just stayed in way too long. Okay? You kept giving and giving, hoping that they will see your worth, and they never did. Now let's flip it again. You're asking the creator to help you with your health, but every single week you're listening to me or someone like me, and you haven't made any real moves yet. You come into the lives, give them like 20 seconds, and then you hop out. Yeah, I'm picking on you. I'm picking on you, okay? But most of the time, people feel like because I've signed up for a trainer, or because I logged into your live, I'm losing weight, I'm getting better. Because I walked in the gym, I'm going to gain some muscle. Sorry to break it to you, that's not how it works. You actually have to put in the work. You can listen to all of my lives back to back to back for a whole entire weekend. But if you don't do the work, if you don't do the things that I'm suggesting to you, you're going to stay the same. Okay? I did another speaking engagement not too long ago, and my cousin was there. And afterwards, I asked her how I did, and she was like, "Oh, it was really, really good. One of the first of health conferences or whatever she said that I actually enjoyed and stayed awake for. But I want to know like your real, true secrets of how you helped your own journey. Like, give me the sauce." And I was like, what? I just spoke for 35, 45 minutes. And you're asking me, like, for the real secrets of what I did to help me with my health. Like, you've known me all your life. I'm not a liar. I don't gatekeep. You know me like that, right? So I literally gave my top 3 things of what I did to change my health. And yeah, I was just confused. So I sat with that, and I thought about it like for multiple hours. And I was like, you know what? I really think that she was just asking for a quick pill. I think she was just asking for something to take. That's why you see these up here. Okay? This is my pick me potion. This is my swallow it and smile pills. This is my validation serum. This is the cover it up cream. Okay. And this is my favorite, the fake fresh breath. This is what you guys are searching for constantly. Anybody like consistently buy products all the time? What is it that you're really searching for? Because when you have to buy something that's outside of yourself to feel something on the inside, you're going to be searching forever. You're going to be searching for a really, really, really long time. Okay? The Creator provides everything that we need. Everything that we need. Okay? Let me see what time it is. Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. So again, give gratitude. Give gratitude for everything that you have. Give gratitude for the things that you don't have. Giving gratitude doesn't fix your habits, but it stabilizes your nervous system so that your habits can change. Okay? Here's some more examples. Appreciating your body while changing it. How many of you guys are grateful for the body that you have? Instead of looking in the mirror and being frustrated all the time and hating yourself, give gratitude for the body that you do have, because I promise you, it can always be worse. It can always be worse. Thank yourself for the awareness. Thank yourself for being here today, okay? Protect your progress instead of chasing perfection. Again, you're not going to find it in the stores on the shelves. You're not. Gratitude doesn't necessarily move you forward, but it does keep you from sliding back. Let me say that again. Gratitude doesn't necessarily propel you forward. It does, but it definitely keeps you from sliding backward. Okay? So if you want a healthy relationship with a man or a woman or whomever, let's start by improving our relationship with food. When you get the man or that woman or whatever the label is, you're going to have some ups and downs because no one is perfect. So when you have those moments, food doesn't have to be the enemy. Food can be simply the classroom. The food that you're choosing today, what is it teaching you? Go back and listen. If you already have lunch, go back and listen to whatever that you have for breakfast or lunch. Listen to what that food choice was trying to tell you. You can do this on your own. You don't need me for this, okay? But how long are you willing to keep trying the same way that you've been doing before? How long are you going to keep doing those same cycles? If you're ready for a system, my 13-week step-by-step signature program is there for you because most people need structure. So it's created in a way that provides that structure. When you join my school, you get 2 weeks for free. You get a 7-day free trial. After that, it's $5 per month. If you don't like the 7 days that you've already been a part of, you just leave. No pressure. Okay? And with that, let me answer some of the health questions that I've been getting popping up. Oh, wow. All right, sorry to hear that. Okay. Somebody is asking me what kind of doctor I am. I am a doctor of philosophy. Educational and psychology is the PhD that I have with a focus on the psychology of eating. How to handle a divorce. I'm not a divorce attorney, but I'm gonna answer that in a generalized way. And it's the same for any kind of situation anybody's going through. Those alkalizing breaths will definitely calm your nervous system. Okay? This is with any situation. Obviously, there's something more specific that you will need help with, which I do have a certified life coach in my program, and it comes with it. Um, but start with every day with meditating and alkalizing breaths and giving thanks for your partner, giving thanks for everything that they've put you through, giving thanks for all of it. I promise you, I just came out of a relationship myself. And so I'm thankful for all of the challenges that came with that person and their family and all kinds of stuff. Grateful for all of it. It's helped me grow to the kind of mentality that I have now. Okay. How do I know if I actually want to change my eating habits or if I'm just tired of being uncomfortable? Wow. Woo! Loaded question. Let me ask that again in case you guys didn't get that. How do I know if I actually want to change my eating habits or if I'm just tired of being uncomfortable? Oh my gosh. Discomfort alone doesn't necessarily equal readiness. It does not. Readiness shows up when you're willing to feel temporary discomfort for long term peace. Okay? So if the thought of staying the same hurts more than the fear of changing, then your craving is real. Let me say that again. If the thought of staying the same hurts more than the fear of changing, your craving is real. I hope that helped you. All right. If food isn't the real problem, let me expand this. If food isn't the real problem, why does it feel like food is always where I fall? Let me read that again. If food isn't the real problem, why does it feel like food is where I fall? I love that. Okay. Let me try to keep that simple. Because food is fast, it's familiar and socially acceptable. It's not that food is the issue, it's the tool that your nervous system learned to use first and really early on. Really early on, okay? So when your capacity increases, your reliance on food is going to decrease naturally. Try it out. I teach you this in my program too. Okay. So I really go in depth about it. Don't have the time to do that now. But yeah, I really kind of talk about that in depth. So phenomenal question. All right, one more. How do I stop judging myself when I know better, but still repeat the same habits? How do I stop judging myself when I know better, but still repeat the same habits? So I kind of talked about it earlier, and I was talking about how awareness with compassion creates, or without compassion creates shame. Awareness without compassion creates shame. And shame fuels the cycle, right? So you just repeat yourself over and over again. So you don't need more discipline. You don't need more motivation. You don't need more willpower. You just need safety. And healing starts with when curiosity replaces self-attack. Stay curious about how you can grow to the next level. Stay curious about how would it feel to be in a healthier body, a healthier mind. Stay curious about that. Okay? All right. Okay, I got another question. I'll go ahead and try to answer this. What if I'm scared of changing because I don't know who I'll be without these habits? Oh my gosh. That fear just makes a whole lot of sense. So, familiar coping tools, even when it's harmful, it feels like identity. So, growth doesn't erase you, it really truly expands you. So, you don't lose yourself, you actually get to meet your true self. When you remove all of these things, this bull crap right here, you start to meet your true self. And if you want to go deeper in that, I go deeper in that in my program. Also, another tool for you is Dr. Demartini's value processing system. He asks you about 13 different questions, and the output that you get will teach you a whole lot about yourself that you may not even know. A lot of times, um, we're working right now and we're in jobs that we don't love just because, you may have had to immediately find something to pay the bills. And so you just found a job and you're just like, all right, I just got to work this every day because it pays the bills. Very similar to why we went to school and the degree that you may have had, or the area of focus that you studied in high school and middle school. It's just because you have we it's against the law not to go to school. So you kind of had to do it. And then we were taught so many systematic things that we felt like we weren't going to use once we graduated. So we kind of just went through the motions. And again, for people that went to college, you just kind of graduated with a degree, and you're not even working in that field of that degree because you just kind of went through the motions. These are things you're just supposed to do, right? So when you start to try to change, when you start making those changes, it's going to feel uncomfortable because you're not used to it. The things that you're doing now, you're used to it. You come home, you sit on the couch, you grab some chips, you watch a movie or watch TV, whatever. That feels comfortable to you, even though it's not the healthiest thing. Because again, the brain loves familiarity. So you have to get to a space to where it's so uncomfortable to do that same thing, come home, grab chips or popcorn, sit on the couch and watch TV. You have to create that friction with inside of yourself in order for you to change. But then, like I said, once you do start to change, it's gonna feel uncomfortable, and then you got to do what you got to do to keep consistent, so you won't go back to that comfortable space that's really uncomfortable. Okay, so if you've ever looked at people like, how do you eat that rabbit food all the time? First of all, let's change our language and stop calling healthy food rabbit food. Stop calling it a diet. No, your diet is supposed to be your way of life. That's supposed to be what we do every day. Eating fruits and vegetables in abundance every single day should be the way to live. That should be normal. But in today's society, we call it going on a diet. A diet in today's sense. Look at the first three words, DIE. But if you actually truly live that way, then that's just what you do. It's called a lifestyle. Okay? It's been 3 years and I'm single. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's great. How is your relationship with yourself? That's a very common thing because it's a real big reflection when you're talking about your relationship with food and your relationship with humans. I'm starting that series very soon. Hopefully you guys will continue. Hit that subscribe button if you're not following already. But I am bringing the research where I talk about the similarities between the two. Okay? So congratulations. I'll give you $1 that goes with that mouthwash. Yeah, you're gonna have to go up with that. And even then, not happening. No, it's homemade healthy food. I'm not sure what I was talking about at the time that you commented that. All right, cool. All right, you guys, I see a couple more questions, but I do have to get out of here. I'm so sorry. Come to the next live that I have on Sunday. Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. On Monday, we're starting a 40-day liquid fast. Myself and Alkaline Vegan Mommy, we're doing a 40-day liquid fast, and it starts on Monday. If you want to join that fast, it's only $10. What it comes with is her nearly 100-page uncooked book full of juices, smoothies, herbal teas, and soups. Yes. So everything is liquid during that 40 days. So it's not bad. We're not talking about just water, which is a true fast. This is our modified liquid fast. Okay. So if you want to join that, just click the link in my bio and get yourself signed up. And then it comes also with our private community. Okay. Hope to see you guys soon. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time. All right. Do that.